You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play podcast that's normally Star Wars, but today we're doing something a little bit different. And you'll find out exactly what that is after these words from our sponsors. Hello friends, and welcome to today's micropod on behalf of the Smiley Corporation. Your need-to-know nuggets of knowledge for the day are: be alert! Notorious cybercriminals, the Unidentifiables, are selling off-brand versions of our very own Rebexa. Calling itself Rebextra, unaware consumers are enticed by the cheaper price label, but don't realize that Rebextra is full of malware and a deficient AI, and will definitely steal your personal data. Say, "Hey Rebexa, imposter syndrome," for more details. On the subject of your personal data, new terms and conditions have been implemented allowing increased dream harvesting for all Smiley Corporation customers, allowing us to better tailor your shopping and entertainment suggestions. If you want to opt out of this personal tailoring service for some inexplicable reason, that option is available to all Platinum Prime members and above. Remember to agree to the new T&Cs and say, "Hey Rebexa, sweet dreams," for more details. Rumors are rising of an uptick in ghost sightings close to the Hortense Nebula. This is your friendly reminder that ghosts do not exist, having been designated illegal due to their unprofitability several decades ago. Should any ghosts have missed that ruling, they are directed to stop it immediately, get a job, and contribute to society. Say, "Hey Rebexa, spectral scroungers," for more details. And that's all for this micropod. Coming next, the hollow sound of a lifetime of regrets echoing through your skulls, accompanied by upbeat polka music, because no one can truly be sad while listening to polka. Stay tuned and keep smiling.
So, this is the third and final part of what we're calling the Out Dark series, where we invite some lovely friends along and experiment with settings, tones, systems, and other nonsense for your entertainment and hopefully delight. Hope you've had fun with this so far. This should be the last bit. The system that we're using is Lasers and Feelings, which you can easily get a Google form if you're curious as to the system, because it's free. A link is in the show notes, and it's a very straightforward system. And the world is the Outer Dark world, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, I'd love it if my fantastic players would introduce themselves.
Hello everybody, you know me, my name is Adam, and for today's episode I will be playing Professor Rex Armitage, Two-Fisted Science Bastard. You may know me from such films as I Was Satan's Chaperone and Mollusk!
Hi, I'm Ross. I'm playing Click-Clack Gimite. I'm an alien soldier. I'm a termite soldier, and I have a Lasers and Feelings value of 4.
I'm Del. My proper name is Rebecca Derrick, but Del. I'm a performer, writer for performance, who hasn't done anything in a really long time. So I don't know why I've been invited here. And my character is Philida Fizzy Logan, pilot on the thing. My Lasers and Feelings is 3. I just want to fly stuff. That's literally it. Just do some flying of stuff.
Hello, I'm RJ Barker. I'm an author. I'm contractually obliged to say I'm an award-winning author. My agent listens to all of it. Yeah, he will actually email me and say you didn't mention you won an award if I don't. So I did. I won an award. I'm playing Benito Handles. I'm a hotshot envoy, and I was raised from birth to broker peace between humans and an alien race called the Grondar, who were sentient but incredibly violent rocks. And everyone thought they had vast technological reserves. Unfortunately, they only spoke in geological time. So I had to learn that language and then go into stasis between each word for a long time. And between the first word and the second word of my kind of opening "Hello, this is who we are" speech, their planet fell into the sun. So I have no purpose. Left. And I'm a bit sad, but I'm raised as a diplomat, so I want to talk things out with everything, even if they want to eat me. I want to find a way forward through, my flesh being a tradable commodity. No one had ever actually seen the Grandar, which is a bit weird, and there are lots of strange conspiracy theories about them, but I suspect that's just rubbish. Smiley Corp raised me, and they would never do anything bad, would they?
There's a reason we introduced RJ last, isn't there?
It is the far future. Everything is run by a mega corporation known as the Smiley Corp. The Smiley Corp are here to help you smile. Mankind has reached out to the outer edges of the solar system, but no further, because the Smiley Corporation has told us that we don't need to go any further beyond the outer reaches of the solar system. There's nothing there, except, of course, product. And the Smiley Corporation will make sure that product is always available. Vast wealth lies apparently beyond the reaches of the solar system, but of course, the Smiley Corporation is there to help you. This is the crew of the ship, the Obscure Pop Culture Reference, a starship museum that travels the outer settlements to bring amusement and education to everyone. It is the year 115 BBFS, that's before Black Friday sales. And it is Black Friday sales eve, and you are heading towards the world of a Megawash Zeta to entertain the termite boys and girls and non-binaries with your newly installed History of Space display that has been recently installed at great cost to the Smiley Corporation. And to explain the ship, you essentially have, if you imagine like the Voyager ship or like a Star Trek ship, but it's basically a massive hotel in space with one huge bridge. Everything is very shiny. Everything is very kind of like advanced. Everything also runs off an AI known as Rebextra. If you need anything, you can ask Rebextra, and Rebextra will make that happen for you. That's the piloting console, and you have in the heart of your ship a vast museum display full of wonders. Some have said maybe stolen wonders, but these are treasures, and you are the guardians of the ship. And we open with it is, as I say, the eve of Black Friday, the big kind of celebration. No one has kind of Christmas these days. It's the sales. It's a big sales day where everyone buys things and gives each other things, and then buys more things and then gives each other other things. And as I say, you're heading towards this outer rim world to say hello to the kiddies. So, crew, what are you doing on this wonderful eve of celebration with some exciting new displays that you haven't really explored yourselves? They've been installed, and then the ship's fallen off with once installed.
Can I just add my lasers and feelings score is 2, which I forgot to say, and I don't know. But with that, what I'm doing is I'm sitting in my cabin, being a bit sad because. This is the saddest day of the year for me, Black Friday Eve, because we had a lot of Grandar merch ready to go as soon as we had the Peace Treaties down, and I had a percentage on that, and obviously that just reminds me of what I've lost. Really, it's kind of like the far future version of being a goth, just mood lighting, the whole thing, pretend candles because we're not obviously allowed fire hazards, but otherwise, yeah.
And in space.
Yeah, in space, everything's better in space. And colder. No one can hear you cry or mope.
You don't have regular candles, but you're allowed space candles. Weirdly, they still do run out, so you still have to buy more. It's like someone's like, let's make an efficient version of candle that doesn't burn or provide much light or heat, but still has to have to be replaced. So
there's little circular batteries. You get them like 150 from a pound shop. They don't last. It's a false economy.
Yeah, I'm on my last one, which is making me even sadder because I can't afford to replace them.
I have devoted this time to wrapping a large orrery. if you don't know the word, of here is a sun and the planets, and they're going around it. Here's a mechanized thing which makes the planets go around the sun in a circular plane, and I'm waving my hands around in an interesting fashion, which doesn't work on radio. But I'm trying to work out the tactical applications of this as a weapon, or its use as a culinary appliance. But before
Tactical combat orrery.
yeah. Well, I'm a soldier. I'm trying to work out whether it can be used as a weapon or a wisp.
That must be really frustrating trying to wrap it while it's moving, because it'll just keep tearing the paper apart.
Yes,
I feel for you.
This is a tactical challenge. I'm striving to overcome.
All those years of military training, just trying to work out how to wrap it properly. If only I could stop it somehow.
Ross, can you just roll me a d6, please?
Yes. I have rolled a 6, which in this system is above my lasers score of 4 and means something.
Using lasers and feelings, if you're under your lasers, so under your number, if it's a science thing, you want to get under your number, which is 3. Is that right?
4.
4. And if you're going with your feelings, you want to get above 4.
I rolled a 6. That is not under my lasers of science.
But you get this gut feeling that with the orrery, you're not sure what's wrong, but the balance is off.
Also, the paper seems to be running out.
The paper is running out, but also the balance. You should have gone for the prepackaged.
Yeah.
You should have just ordered gift wrapping default. You know better. But they just provide a big bag. It's not as satisfying as actual wrapping paper. That's the problem. Yeah, so there's something off with it. Like it's the fact that it's got the solar system. It's got all the extra little colony worlds and all the little extra little bits.
Yeah,
and it's also got the little missing rock where the Grandeur meeting center asteroid was going to be built, and now it's just now it's just an empty artifact because there's no one there to meet. Some say it's an enormous con. Who knows? But yeah, like as you get to the edges of it, you're like, there's something missing with the balance. And every time we've looked at these, we've always thought that it must be because this isn't a cheap gift. You've got a really nice one. It's like it's just not quite right somehow. And
Rex is doing the rounds of the exhibits to make sure that everything is securely locked. Well, the things that need to be securely locked down are securely locked down. The things that don't need to be securely locked down aren't, because obviously there's got to be an eye to preserving power. And just immersing himself in the collected wonders of educational curiosities that are part of our ship, ready to be taken on display to our next port of call. At the same time, he is keeping one eye on his smile phone, because with it being Black Friday Eve, he's hoping to catch one of the rare reprints of one of his earlier films, Bubble Hell 4 Return of the Bubblemeister, which is due for a limited edition reprint soon.
Your eye is caught by one of the slightly older displays, which has always impressed you, which is the display of the star whales, which of course is a giant whale with the country of Wales
Helmet on.
with a helmet on the thing. It's a giant space whale, but with the country of Wales on its back. Due to a series of horrendous misunderstandings. And like on the display, it explains what went wrong, up to including the genetically engineered whale that they built, and the fact that the people of Wales wanted a dragon instead, and the fact that they put the helmet on the whale and not on the actual habitat unit. And it's a whole lot.
Is there a little Welsh flag on the side with a helmet on the dragon?
Yes.
It's one of the star whales, so they made this mistake more than once.
I was about to ask that. It's like, are there multiple star whales, each with a perfect copy of the country of Wales on their back? Just a whole flotilla, a pod of whales out there with increasingly disgruntled Welsh folk on them.
It was one of the Smiley Corporation's best discounted products of all time.
Is that because the dragon on the flag is still breathing fire inside the helmet and it's all gone wrong?
My life is pain.
This is why it's discontinued.
And Captain, there is suddenly a ringtone, and the Rebextra AI is call for Captain, call for Captain, call for Captain, and it's just hailing the crew.
And Fizz is like, meh, bothered, too busy browsing eBay, it's all good.
I'm staring moodily out of a window at the stars. I can't.
Is anyone picking up the comm, or are you all carefully ignoring the...
It's for the captain.
Yeah.
He doesn't read my email, I hope.
The problem being, of course, that Validio is the pilot. One of you is Benito is, of course, the envoy. There isn't actually specifically a captain.
Do we have it on a rota system?
Who turns it on Thursdays? Come on, own up.
There's a whiteboard in the refectory.
Yeah.
Is that difficulty with a bank holiday coming up though? So it's like the bins that we do. Space bins and captain rotor. It's all just a mess.
But because Benito hates this holiday, because obviously the misfortune of his past, and he's so much older than everybody else in real time, he's offered to work it. So I suppose he should have to answer that. Well, he's in a position of responsibility, so I'm just going to just com a message through to Dell, and like a proper manager, tell her to answer it.
Del is not short for delegate.
I've been delegated. Fabulous. So yeah, Fizzy's gonna.
So a common screen appears from your extra console, which is like basically a little tube, and it generates like a little holographic image. And the majority of the image is taken up for an advert for a game called Raid Shadow Legends. And this is a grim, dark future, guys. And then a face pops up, and it is a termite. So it's a human being, a bit like one of your colleagues, who has lots of like cybernetic bits plugged in. So they look a little bit like a lobster crab person, and they're like, "Hello, hi,
Hello.
we are the Feta delegation. We are here for a bit of a sneak peek before you make orbit for the Black Friday celebrations. We have I think we sent several emails. I assume that you've read them all. But yes, we would love to have a bit of an advanced tour of your facilities, if you don't mind. I have a ship full of tourists.
It's not on the board.
Oh, we have some. We've travelled quite far. We've spent quite a lot of our smiley batches to get this.
I can have a check, but it's definite. I'm looking at the board now, and you're not on it. We've got red post-its for special visits. There's one on the floor. Yeah, right. So, what we could do is, because what I can't do is that, but what we could do is, what about a lovely video walk around? And then you can see the real thing for when we're actually expecting you. Or no, not happy? Okay. This would be so much easier if you were talking to the real captain today, because he talks to people and stuff. I could you could ask me some questions, and then I could ask the thingy with the new exhibition, the space history thing, to answer those. Nope. Okay.
So as you're speaking, little down pointing hands are appearing, just like in the conversation, and there's like these various. So rather than shaking their heads, it's just like multiple down votes are just occurring.
So just to clarify, that's thumbs down, not pointing down. Okay.
Yes, it's thumbs down.
Yeah. Okay. So those ideas are downvoted. So on a scale of not happy and not happy, how not happy are you? So okay, right. So I think someone's checking them now. What about? I'm sure that the space slushy machine is on. How many tourists is a lot of tourists?
Oh, it's not a lot. It's just a delegation of 12.
Okay, delegation of 12. So how about we could welcome you on board, and how far away are you?
So if you look outside of your comm range viewer, we are there. Hi, and you can actually, like, as you look, you can actually see this like this kind of they've got more arms than you expected because you don't really see it on the screen because there's adverts on either side. But they're waving and then they're waving and then they're waving and then they're waving.
Lovely.
Hi.
Hello. Right. So, how about we'll all put on our uniforms because we were not dressed for guests today. But how about if you come and we can have some space slushies? We have 3 different flavors. One of them is new. It's to do with space history. It's like a history flavor. Fun. And then in the time you're having your space history slushies, we can make sure everything is ready for you. But I definitely just need a few minutes though, because Rex is doing some checks on something.
Can I just interrupt, Dal?
Oh, here comes the envoy.
Yeah, they can't hear me. It's okay. Don't worry. When I said that slushy tasted old, I meant it had gone off. But apart from that, you're doing really well. I'll just leave you to it.
Is it toxic to termites?
I've no idea, but I'm going to let you make this decision because if we get it wrong, get in a lot of trouble. So you just carry on.
I'm not even the captain today. Okay, right. Okay. Hi everyone, me again. Termites, was it? Hello. So the new flavour slushy comes with a risk, health and safety, little what's that word? Liability contract.
Oh, is it spicy? Oh, we like spicy.
That's what the kids are calling it. So, how about we get you all connected and you can go through our fun decontamination shower and feet dip. Yeah. Everyone loves a good foot dip. We got the green one specially for you. And then, we'll get you slushed up. The people who want to try the new space history flavour can sign their fun waiver. And then once you're all settled down, I can check with Rex that everything checks-wise is all okay, and we'll get you in and through. Would you like a guided tour, or would you just like for Rebextra to just be available to answer any questions that you have?
Oh, we'd quite like to see the crew as well, especially as you've come to all this trouble.
All of them?
Whoever's available.
Cool. Yeah, fab. So, as I said, we just need to quickly uniform up, and we'll be right with you. But the way where we'll connect with you once you've gone through the shower and the dip, it takes you right through to the slushy room, and I will make sure there's some tablets that have the waiver ready for anyone who fancies space history slushy.
Dal, can Philidia Fizzy Logan please make a roll 3d6 to make sure that they dock without crashing into the ship?
Okay, so that's just a dice. Right, okay.
A normal dice.
6.
Cool. Roll it 2 more times.
The same one?
Yep.
I don't know why that matters. That was a silly question.
That was a brilliant question.
Second roll was 2.
Yep.
And third roll is 3.
And your laser and feelings is
3.
3. That is enough to make sure that it docks. So you literally press the couple of the right buttons. You look at the vent or gas button, decide not to press that one.
I've definitely pressed the button for the green dip because we've promised them the green dip now. So.
And suddenly the ship comes to life as there is a docking warning as other ships are docking with you. And yes, rest of the party, what are you doing as you see what is essentially if your ship looks a bit like a kind of squashed Starship Enterprise, this one looks like a bit of a squashed crab. Essentially, it's got 2 long kind of pincery things, and it's much less kind of impressive, but it's kind of attaching itself to the side of it's essentially giving it a giant space hug.
The prof gets on the comms. So, I just hear a docking alarm. What's all that about? We're not due for any visitors anytime soon.
Tannoy time. Just so everyone's aware, we've got some guests who apparently we've allowed an early access to the new exhibition before we actually reach the planet tomorrow. It's just a diplomatic 12 people. So yeah, maybe if their captain could come over, but they do want to meet everyone. So uniform up, guys. Team.
I'm never out of uniform. For a scientist to be caught without a lab coat, I might as well be without trousers on the 14th moon of Pluto, as happened in my previous film, 12 Delightful Puppies Take Manhattan.
Which lab coat are you wearing?
My lab coat. The only one I have, bulletproof, stain-resistant, and a vibrant shade of puce.
My uniforms are lovely black, all over, just black. It's Vanta black, actually, so I kind of people don't really notice me. It's just the way it's been all my life. I'm just expected to, like, do my thing. Does anyone have a dictionary, just while we're here? Because I only learned Gronda words. And could somebody look up marauder for me?
Hey, Rebecca, what's the definition of marauder?
Would you like the definition of the word marathon?
Yeah.
No, Rebecca.
No,
Definition of the word. Oh, okay then.
Marathon is an old name for one of Smiley Corporation's peanut chocolate bars.
I think we've got one of those in the defunct candy part of the exhibitions.
Would you like any more definitions?
Marauder.
Mayonnaise is an emulsion of oil, egg, yolk, and acid, using either vinegar or lemon juice. Eggs were once produced by chickens. Chickens no longer exist. Eggs are now produced by the Smiley Corporation.
It's written on the side of that spaceship, but I'm just curious.
Maybe it's the name of the tour agency.
Oh, maybe it's a caravan. It's a very caravan type name. Marauder.
The only caravan I know is the one of love.
Oh, what about the one of courage?
We don't talk about the caravan of courage. Not on this show. Although the little animatronic murder bears in there remind me of a film I did for the Antipodean market. Crikey, It's a Drop Bear. Didn't do very well in the box office, that one.
So uniforms.
Yeah, I'm going to be going this week's latest fashion in camouflage wear, which will be purple, and I'm trusting the ship's computer to make the walls match.
They need to be able to right. Do you understand? So a meet and greet, it means the meeting and the greeting. So actually, could you be visible?
I will set the walls to be a slightly different shade of purple. A complementary style of shade of purple.
Lovely. Thank you for your wonderful compromise of the evening.
You know you like shooting things, Rex?
Yeah.
Is that like all of your people like shooting things?
He's Rex. I'm Click Click.
Click Click.
I mean, all of my people do like shooting things, but that's Hollywood, baby!
I do like shooting things. Let's clarify that. I definitely like shooting things.
What about the rest of your people?
Photographs count as things.
I mean, technically he's not wrong.
It doesn't have to be fatal shooting. I mean, paint is a good ammunition.
I feel like we're getting slightly away from the issue at hand. Has anyone actually looked at the new exhibition that we're about to give a guided tour on? Anyone got any ideas? Any at all?
With the exception of Click Click, I don't think any of you actually have.
I'm aware of it. I haven't got round to curating it properly yet. I've been too distracted, thinking.
Are we open tomorrow?
You're supposed to be orbiting a world tomorrow, and there'd be like an automated shuttle that would take people who'd wander around.
So yeah, 5 minutes. I don't know how long it takes termites to have a slushie, especially a space slushie. So 12 have come. but depending on how many have the space slushy, not sure how many will be leaving, but the waiver's done and ready, so we're good. We're covered.
Did you fix the toilets?
Do termites need toilets?
Oh, I don't know. Click, click.
Yes.
Click, click. You're a termite, and it depends on whether you have a toilet module installed or not.
Let's just say it may depend. For reference to the other question, about 7 minutes.
Right. Fabulous. So it depends. Right, okay. If they've had a space slushy now, will they require a toilet before the end of their time with us?
I mean, they have their own ship, don't they? They can go back.
That's true, but we might have to get extra dip.
We've only a limited amount of green dip. We've got lots of the red dip. They are the same, apart from the colour.
I mean, they are here early. You know, we can say we're not quite ready yet.
Apparently they sent emails. There was a red post-it on the floor. I don't know who's been doing the post-it board recently, but this is on them.
The walls have changed colour every so often, including possibly red. I think red was last week.
That doesn't help me.
I don't read emails, I just delete them. Just spam. Casino spam.
Of course you do. When can people get to the space slushy room?
So you are able to get to your bridge console. I'm assuming, for sake of story, I'm going to assume that you're all now currently on the bridge. And you can see that the 12 tourists have arrived in the complimentary airlock and are currently having complimentary snacks in the airlock room.
Just want to clarify, is that complimentary as in free, or complimentary as in it's saying really nice things about them?
Both.
Okay.
It's free, but at the same time it's got things like, you were wonderful, keep breathing that oxygen. Survival is important.
You can do it.
Only fools suck vacuum, but also it has a series of, like, it has a juice bar and a snack bar. Essentially they are people, but they kind of like look cockroach-like in the fact that they've got lots of mechanical devices kind of plugged onto them. But these people are, there's more of a uniform to them. Some of them have multiple limbs, but termites, like, over the years, termites have become more acceptable in society, and these are like, you're pretty sure that they are like a mix of different types. Does anyone want to make if anyone wants to make any rolls to kind of assess your guest, feel free.
I would like to make a tactical sort of roll, yeah.
RJ and Ross, make me a laser and feel a roll. I'm going to say 3d6 each for different things, because I'm assuming RJ is doing a kind of like a...
Well, cause as the captain, I stopped off past the board on the way and gave myself the authority to pick up the red post-it, which obviously Del couldn't do, and it just said valuable and dangerous on it. So I don't know what that was. I put it in the bin. It was obviously not important.
Can Benito roll 3d6, and I'm using your character trait of badly thought out plans.
Ed, are we using lasers or feelings? Because it matters for the number of successes.
1!
So you roll a 1.
Yeah, that's a really badly thought out.
Roll another 2 dice, and I'll give you the results of those.
Do they have to be the same dice?
Nope, they can be different dice.
One might be good if it's a feelings roll.
If it's a feelings, one's great.
So Benito is rolling feelings because you're trying to figure out what these guys are like, and Click Clack is rolling lasers.
I've rolled a 1 and 2 5s. Oh, I've rolled a 1, a 5, and a 6.
Huh.
So
sounds legit.
Either really bad or really good. Yeah.
So for feelings roll, which you need to roll over your number, you get a bad feeling about these guests.
Oh, I wonder why. Yeah.
Just a vibe.
Yeah. I wish the other people here could pick up on that.
Click Clack, you also roll 3 dice, but you're all trying to get under your laser feeling.
Yeah. I have rolled a 1 and a 3, which is under my lasers, and I've rolled a 6, which is over.
Okay.
So that's 2 successes.
2 successes. These are fellow termites who are clearly all ex-military. You recognise them because you are a military termite yourself, and you have all of your ports activated, if you see what I mean. So the bits where you can plug in guns and lasers and this sort of thing, and you can, if you desperately need to, or you just want to save some money, you can power your weapons off your own like life force, as it were. And they are also similarly, they have the similar sort of extensions. They also have the nerf modules, which means that they get as many nerf bullets as they want when they're playing nerf. It's really cool. It's a module that everyone has gone for, and it's totally worth the extra 18 months of servitude just to be able to do that.
These guys are looking dangerous.
So yes, they look dangerous, or at least they used to be dangerous.
Does anyone look dangerous having a space history, space slushy? Really?
How many of them are actually drinking it?
So, Click-Clack, you notice that they are all drinking the very dodgy-looking slushy, but they're drinking it not through their mouths, but through their fuel port systems, which is just below their neck. You see what I mean? So they're drinking it there. So there's a little hatch, and they're pouring it in, which is what you would do if someone was trying to poison you. It's what you do with kebabs, essentially, on a night out. It's that sort of food that you want in your body, but you're not entirely sure that you is a good idea.
They're bypassing the taste centres. Yeah, okay.
As the captain, and obviously today's captain, and because I have a very bad feeling about this, I'm going to delegate to Rex to make the decision that he should let them in, so it's on the record that he decided to do this.
Captain, are you feeling uncertain? Do you think there may be danger ahead from our erstwhile and early unanticipated guests? Because if so, I have an alternative solution. It's called voiding them into space. Yes. No? Of course, it would be my honor as a two-fisted science bastard to protect my captain for the day, with my own body if needs be, facing down the enemies of rationality, with nothing more than improbable weapons and a fine sense of style.
I'm probably not going to do that.
I'm not going to draw a weapon, but I am going to disarm the nerf setting.
Is nerf setting below stun?
Yeah. Kill, stun, nerf.
Annoy. Kill, stun, annoy.
The world that this is, you've got kill and then you've got nerf, so you can accidentally.
So, is that something that they will notice? Because how about some people who've just come to see our nice new shiny museum that we have brought to them? Maybe we could help them feel welcomed and not threatened.
It's fine, I have a charming demeanor.
Rebecca, deploy the balloons.
Deploying balloons.
The problem is, Ross, is you haven't specified where from, so suddenly Click-Clack just goes poof! just erupts from all of your weapon sports, just little tiny balloons all over you.
It just begins floating.
Just hovering an inch off the floor. Undignified.
There is a hissing sound, and then there is a beeping sound. So the ship's pilot, Fizzy, yeah, you're aware that the oxygen levels, the air levels have suddenly shifted, as the emergency landing balloon has been activated on the ship.
Brilliant.
Which is a large inflatable balloon with the Smiley Corp logo that just is now flopping out in space with a large amount of gas.
It's turned us into a Luftkissenboot, or hovercraft. It's beautiful language, German.
Cheers, Rex. Rebextra, what air content do termites need?
Normal, depending on modifications.
Rebextra, is the air currently okay for termites?
It is currently okay for termites. I can add more nitrogen to the oxygen if they are currently processing fertilizer.
Rebextra, is it okay for us?
Confirming. Oh. Correcting. Oxygen levels are currently okay for human normal, presuming you are all normal humans.
I recommend we keep our masks with us just in case, everybody. Are we doing this?
Yes.
Let's do this. I walk down to the complimentary airlock, open it, posing dramatically so I'm silhouetted in the doorway with my customary trademark poses, and then I'm going to turn, tip my hat to them down and go, "Welcome aboard the Pop Culture Reference. My name is Professor Max Armitage, and I am delighted to welcome you."
Can you roll me 2 dice on your lasers and feelings, please?
Of course. Is this a lasers or a feelings?
This is a feelings, I feel. Unless you're specifically trying to use some sort of,
No, feelings. My number is 4, since I didn't state that earlier on. 1 success. I got a 3 and a 5.
Fantastic. They appear to take you seriously and are visibly relaxed. They are all dressed. Right, so Most of them are dressed in bright floral t-shirts designed by someone who's never seen a flower. so like,
That's my wardrobe, Ed. Stop attacking me so personally.
so like these are like neon, and they're very big as well because they're termites and they have lots of kind of modifications.
That's my wardrobe, Ed. Stop attacking me.
Heavy modifications. They're like, so it's like this kind of bulky but thin material with lots of many of them are carrying oversized cameras, which is unusual because most people just have a communicator. Your smiley phone does pretty much everything for you, but if you're a real nerd, you can buy a special smiley camera, which is like your phone. It looks bigger and has a bigger lens, and apparently that's better, though that's dubious. So they've got lots of those on. They're all wearing floppy hats as well. Two of them, however, aren't. One of them is dressed smartly in what is essentially a tuxedo, and they look a bit like a penguin. And another one of them is dressed in what could be best described as bad taste camo. So it's like a mix of like yellows and purples and like essentially clashing colours. You're not sure what this would camouflage you against.
Which one of them is holding the umbrella to designate them as tour leader?
The one in the bad camo.
We've just found out that the complimentary elevator also has filters in to make people more attractive because now it's open. They're a bit,
You're looking very pretty today.
Are the advert settings on the ship tailoring now to different styles of camera?
The advert settings on the ship are now flashing adverts for exciting new deals you can have in your modifications, including extra cameras and extra leisure time can be contracted into by merely installing these new adverts.
The fools, they didn't turn off their cookies. Always decline, always decline.
The weirdest thing is the adverts I'm seeing are for coffins and embalming services. I don't understand.
I'm also assuming that with lack of any further information that the one who looks a bit like a penguin actually has a beak.
Yeah, well, they've got like a face mask on, which is yellow. So it gives them the whole kind of like penguin. They look very much like a penguin.
Cool.
The worst colour. Like the balloon on top of the ship is bright yellow. And I'm going to write a letter of complaint about that because it clashes and it's unpleasant.
It's camouflage, it's supposed to clash.
And I'm assuming you're leading them into the museum display. And this is a big open plan. So there's like...
Before I do, I go and hand out a load of signed, glossy headshots back from my heyday some 40 or 50 years ago when I was at the peak of my fame.
Have any of these people signed a non-disclosure agreement while they're here? Because we don't want news to getting out early about the exhibits.
Maybe that's in the disclaimer for the slushies.
That might be, yeah.
It seems like the sort of thing we'd have.
It does, but I think someone needs to have a conversation with them about the fact that because this hasn't actually even opened yet, we can't actually allow them to take any photos in the exhibit.
So they'll have to put down the cameras?
Yeah.
Click clack, what is the exhibit? Just before we go any further.
I mean, it's about the history of space, which I assume means there's a vacuum through there. But...
It's just the open void.
Session ends, you all die, yes.
I mean, no one's really told me, but there's not an awful lot in space. Space is quite big, so it's probably a big hole.
Yeah.
So what's happening right now is they're taking lots and lots of photos with the science officer and multiple selfies because none of them have any idea who you are. Because you've intimated to them that you're famous, everyone wants a selfie. So you're all like there are multiple selfies.
So they're holding up their great big cameras and pointing them at themselves?
At themselves.
Right, okay, just making sure.
And taking turns to like point their great big cameras at each other. Are you observing them as they do this?
Yes, because I wasn't sure whether those cameras were cameras.
You can make a lasers and feeling roll if you want to try and like grab one of the cameras to examine, but you'd have to actually hold it to take a look. And they're all like, "Oh, can we go and see the display now? Can we go and see the? We've signed the forms for the slushies."
Yes, can you leave your cameras over here in this nice, convenient pile of empty space on the floor?
No. We were hoping to. This is the one in the camouflage. We were hoping. He says in a slightly stilted way because I just remembered that what these creatures are like. We were hoping to take photos of not the displays but ourselves at the display so we could gain more kudos on social media as part of one of the Smiley Corporation deals we all have.
pretty sure there's a social media clause in that NDA contract thing about. Can we, give you a guided tour without the cameras and such first, and then you can get, work out what the good shots and things are going to be?
Alternatively, if you really must, and sometimes you just gotta, then please put a posting delay of 48 hours on, so as not to spoil the surprise for everybody else. Feel free to timestamp them as you will. I'll quite happily stand here holding up a copy of today's newspaper for you. But if you release them too soon, it's gonna cause problems against you, isn't it? People are gonna be, hey, they have spoiled the exhibit. Nobody likes spoilers. Don't spoil, kids.
We are quite happy to use Mr. Scientist as our exposure, for our exposure clause. One of them pulls out like a long printout that comes out of their chest. And they kind of, because they've got like a Darth Vader style arrangement.
Dot matrix print.
And like as Click Clack read through it, it's an exposure for exposure. So essentially, if they don't generate enough exposure for observing this for free, they get flushed out an airlock.
Sounds reasonable.
Top.
It does, and it's a lovely idea, Rex. But unfortunately, we're contractually bound to make money out of everybody that visits, and you can only take photographs with the exhibits in front of the official green screen that isn't actually with the exhibits, that then you pay a lot of money to Smiley Corp for. So no one can take cameras in. It's just not allowed. You've got to do the green screen thing with the green screen operator who's waiting for us on that planet.
But there is a little button which, for extra Smiley Corp credits, you could receive an electronic copy of the green screen pictures that you could then use for your social medias at a later point.
And we do have the one that'll put you on a flying carpet.
It's really good.
RJ, can you roll me a 2d6?
I've rolled a 6 and a 1.
So that's a moderate success. So they're like, okay, well that's disappointing. And they put their cameras, their big heavy cameras down. But they're still like carrying lunch boxes and
They've still got robot eyes with recording mechanisms.
yeah, they're still like cyborg mechanisms. So like the concern about bulk is slightly, and they're also wearing very kind of concealy clothes, if you see what I mean. So they're still like kind of like basically robed in Hawaiian shirts. And as you head into the display itself, this is the first time that, with the exception of Click Clack, who wasn't really paying attention, you see this history of space. And for a start, there is this massive rocket, but you notice also it's got like a trail coming out of it, like a piece of string coming out of one side, and a large comedy oversized match. And it just says underneath, the early Apollo program. It's just like written there. There is a picture of a large model of what you as players would describe as an X-Wing starfighter, but is 20th century starship is written underneath.
Next to the rocket, is there a picture of the astronauts being a large, what resembles a plasticine man and dog?
It's a short guy with. It's a short guy with like a Legionnaire's helmet.
Okay.
Like a bog brush Legionnaire's helmet, and he looks decidedly non-human. Other displays include, for some reason, penguins, each of them with jetpacks. There is a waxwork. It's on one of the displays. It says a waxwork of space, and it's essentially just like a black block of wax.
That's what I was looking at. That was the one there. I was fascinated by that.
Is Click Clack still floating in the air from the balloons we accidentally ejected?
Yeah.
Well, no,
the
ship itself has a balloon attached to it now. That's the problem.
Yeah, so does Click Clack though. He deployed all the balloons.
There was also welcome to History of Space.
The world of tomorrow.
But yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
The main centerpiece appears to be this mechanical chicken style thing, which it looks like a large robot chicken. They are also there's a moon planetoid with what appears to be things made out of string or even like wool, like pink wool. Is like put these little pink wool things. There is a blue box in one corner, which is described as an early escape module for the history of space. And one of the things that kind of catches everyone's eye as you kind of start bobbing around, and they're like, the tourists are asking really odd questions. They're like, oh, so what's this thing? And it's like clearly written down what it is. Why is this skeleton wearing a spacesuit? Asks one of them. And there is like a skeleton.
Because skeletons can't breathe in space.
Oh, yes, that makes sense, they say.
As you'd know if you'd seen my seminal horror classic, Run! It's a skeleton in space!
And as you say the word seminal horror classic, your eyes are drawn to something that's just slightly off the main track. And it's this enormously closhed model of one of the early era Smiley Corporation spaceships. This looks off-key to everything else in the fact that it's this absolutely moving, rotating
Orrery. Badly wrapped by Click
badly
Clack.
wrapped Orrery, moving, rotating kind of space station that looks like this spiky gothic horror with lots of other little ships attached to it. And it just looks like, on its own, it looks unusual in the fact that, one, it looks real. Two, it looks like it's actually moving in in a kind of like a slow real time. And as you stare at it, you think there might be ants inside it, because the model has little things that are like very slowly moving. And it's about the size of a writing desk, and it's about 6 foot tall, so it's quite a big display. But it's just this weird sort of display, and it's sandwiched in between a giant purple boot. And when I say giant purple boot, I mean it's about the size of a small family car, and that's marked as early space program boot design.
I can see why we're getting all the tourists, I'll be honest with you, Ed. Who wouldn't want to come and see this?
And a giant glove as well, which is golden, and for reference, it's basically a giant Thanos glove kind of thing, but also says early space program glove design. As you stare at them, you notice that all the tourists are now just like staring at this one big spooky door.
I've noticed something really, really important, and it is going to blow the minds of everybody here. And it might just destroy you emotionally inside, and it's going to be difficult. But there is not one mention of the Grandar in this whole place. And this is a terrible exhibit, and I think we should all just leave. And that is the best thing to do. And just close it up and go back home. And put in official letters of complaint that I've got ready for you. And you just need to sign, or I can sign them for you because I'm quite good at copying things that I've seen once on all the paperwork that comes through my desk as captain. So that's get these people out. Let's go home.
Don't letters of complaint act as a notification of like, as in like your resignation? For
yeah, and I'm glad you
Corp.
feel that strongly. I'm glad you feel that.
No.
So the way the law works is that if you can submit enough downvotes to the moderators, who are the police, they can ban hammer you, which involves an actual hammer.
Yeah, the Smiley Corporation doesn't like people having whistles to blow.
As you make this announcement about the Grandar, you're making it, and directly behind you is science fiction. Fiction, not fact. And everyone else can see Grandar merchandise that was never released to the public. And it's directly, and there's like a glove puppet of a Grandar.
It's just a rock.
It's made out of foam.
If you whisper to Rebextra, will it give you a private answer only you can hear?
You can try that. It would require you to roll lasers. So
roll lasers? Okay, let's have a go.
I'm going to say that's 2 dice because that fits with your pilot E.
2.
5, yeah.
I've got a 6 and a 2.
So, and your lasers is 3? 3. So that's under lasers. So that's a success. So yes, you can kind of.
Okay.
Vocal sort of kind of.
Rebextra.
Yes. Why are we whispering?
guests not here.
Private mode activated.
Thanks for that. Do termites eat the little ant things that are in that massive dome?
Communicating with Dome.
Communicating with termites. Termites, do you eat?
Termite signal detected from Dome. Termite signal detected from Dome.
Does that mean they're in the dome?
Emergency.
Can I ask a question?
Life forms trapped within. Activating emergency procedures. And at which point, the cloche over the dome, a beam comes from the top of the display, and it explodes. And we'll leave the session there.
Oh. Dun dun dun.
Oh no! Oh no!
And on that completely improvised note, where we're trying to desperately find the plot, we'll leave the session there. Thanks for listening, and tune in next time, and keep listening.
Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Fantasy Flight Games and Lucas Books. Our intro music for this season is Unholy Night by Kevin MacLeod, and our outro music remains Suburban Outlaw by Forget the Whale, both used with gratitude under the Creative Commons license. If you like the show and want to interact with us, we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, all of which are at Force Majeure Pod, though Twitter is probably where you're going to find us more regularly. If you enjoy what we do and want to support the show, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is via our Patreon at patreon.com/forcemajeurepod. The second is by buying us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod. And the third way is by rating and reviewing us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, anywhere where you can find us. We really like reviews. It tells us that we're telling the stories that you want to hear and helps other people find us. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time.